everybody, it's Mandy with Brick Road Co. Welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are just joining in for the first time, my name is Mandy and I am a full-time reseller, and you can find me primarily on the apps eBay and Poshmark. However, I do sell on Mercari and Facebook Marketplace, as well as a few other sites. So this is my full-time job and I really enjoy it. And I thought a good way to kind of show you guys what reselling looks like full-time would be to give you a vlog, like a day in the life. So that's what we're gonna do today, and I hope you guys really enjoy seeing kind of a behind-the-scenes look at how my days go. But I will preface this with my days vary every single day. So this is a somewhat typical Wednesday for me. Each day does look vastly different because I do create content amongst YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. So I am constantly looking at different methods of content creation each day, as well as incorporating my daily reseller duties. So it is not necessarily an easy job when you start incorporating social media accounts and influencing, which you do not have to do, but I want to give people a glimpse into balancing all of that and kind of what it looks like. So follow along with me and kind of get more of a, I guess, just kind of more of a view of what it looks like to be a full-time reseller. So let's get going. Okay, so I have already started my day by getting cleaned up because I needed to desperately, and put on eyebrows because I have no eyebrows. So you guys don't need to see what that looks like. It's really not pretty. Pardon my dog's running away, but I have so far today started off by getting a little bit cleaned up, having a cup of coffee, and getting my youngest off to school. My daughters have different start times being in different schools this year. So my youngest is out the door by 7:15 to get on the bus for middle school. My oldest either hitches a ride from friends or I take her, and we leave about an hour after that. So in that hour, I will typically try to get some of my morning tasks squeezed in if I'm able to, and that just kind of depends on timing of everything and if the kids are waking up and how the morning goes, if it's smooth. I do mornings by myself, and I have since the girls were itty bitty because my husband is a chef and has always worked very early morning hours. So I don't have like the typical family of four running around, you know. It's a very weird way that our morning goes. So I don't have littles at home. I don't have to worry about, you know, structuring my day around nap times or anything like that. But I do have to structure my day around, you know, school times, departure times for school, late starts if there's weather. One of my kids was sick. So yesterday, my mom luckily picked her up and brought her home, but typically that would be me that would leave in the middle of the day to go get them. So while that is an incredible perk of being a work-at-home mom, it also does kind of throw wrenches sometimes in how your day's structured. So I've learned that being someone that came from a corporate world where it was like 8 o'clock we have a morning meeting, 8:15 we have another meeting, 8:30 we have another meeting, 9 o'clock we have another meeting. Things were exceptionally structured in my world in almost all of the careers that I've had before, as far as what to expect minute to minute. And naturally there were wrenches in that, but it was fairly predictable and routine. That is not how life is when you work at home with kiddos that are school age. You are, especially middle school going into high school and not quite driving yet. I do a lot of driving. We joke around about being Uber drivers. So my mornings can vary. And so this morning I will be taking my oldest to school. So that does eat into my workday a little bit this morning. However, I got up early to compensate for that. So I knew I was going to be taking Kaylee to school. I got up, got cleaned up, started my job a little bit earlier than normal. So that is what I'm going to be heading out to do here in a minute. But before I leave with my oldest, I'm going to go ahead and do what I typically start my day by doing, whether I shower, don't shower, take the kids to school or not. Being said, the first thing I typically do is check my solds on all of my apps to see what sold between last night and this morning. Then I remove my cross posts from other sites. So if I sold something on eBay, I'll go in and remove it from the other sites, and vice versa. So then I kind of have an idea of how many packages I'm going to be gathering and preparing throughout the daytime. So I think right now I have multiple sales on Posh and eBay, but nothing on Mercari. So I'm going to try to go ahead and check on my solds and then take my oldest to school. When I come back, then I can really start kicking everything into high gear as far as the workday. Okay, so I am in my eBay seller hub right now, and the first thing I do as far as eBay is I just go to the seller hub because it gives me really quickly how many items I need to ship. So I see here that I have 4 that I need to ship. So I will go ahead and from my laptop take care of shipping all of these items. So it looks like overnight I sold a halogen replacement bulb that was from our garage from an old vehicle, and a book that was my grandmother's, 1 consignment item that I sold on a sale, and some chalk, which is a craft supply. So that is an item that I sell actually quite often, is craft supplies. And being a recovered craft addict, I have a ton of that. So I continue to sell that on eBay well, but then I go ahead and I click this button here, which is actions, shipping, print shipping labels, and then I go ahead and get those done. So now I'm just double checking the weights. So this will be a first class package in approximately 5 ounces. That is correct. This here also first class says 6 ounces, but usually leggings are about 10. So you can just hit 10 and enter, and it raised the shipping rate a little bit. So one recommendation I have for eBay is to purchase a cheap scale, and I do have that on my reseller essentials list on Amazon. And the reason being is because you can weigh items as you're listing them, so you don't really have to do this after the fact. However, I just like to double check that I have the correct weights in there. So that book is about 10 ounces. It's a paperback, but about 3 ounces for that. So go ahead and purchase my labels. I, at the moment, am doing my labels through PayPal, but I'm going to be looking into Pirate Ship here soon. So my label cost for 4 items was $13.12. And the buyer does pay that, but then I turn around and pay it when I generate those labels as well. So that comes off my total profit. And I use a wonderful Rollo thermal printer. So I'm gonna go ahead and print that, and then when I connect it to my printer, it'll just spit right out. So let's go now to my Posh, and if you guys just heard my stomach growling, I highly apologize. Here come my puppies. So my oldest just let my dogs out, which means that is a signal that I'm going to be leaving here very soon. Okay, so it looks like last night I sold American Eagle Dark Wash Skinny Jeans, and I remember this was an offer to likers from Monday night that was accepted yesterday afternoon, and then I got an offer this morning for this Kate Spade nylon bag, and I took a 50, and that's a little bit lower than I wanted to. However, I am really just trying to move product right now and pay my bills, so I am taking pretty much any offers that come my way. So if y'all are shopping, have income tax money, I'm just printing my Posh labels now, and then I mark it as shipped. Okay, so next thing that I do is print my labels on my Rollo label printer, which I purchased on Amazon. My only complaint to date is that it's not wireless, so I do have to connect it to my Mac. But anyway, you plug this into the side of the MacBook, and then that connects it to anything via USB that you need. And then because I pre-printed, as soon as I connect it, it just goes. So now I've got my labels ready to go. Just kidding. I don't know where that... Those must have been my 2 Poshmark labels. That was really bizarre. So the first chunk of labels that came through were my eBay sales, and then those 2 slow stragglers that I don't know why it did that are my 2 Poshmark sales from today. So my total sales over the evening time were 2 Posh, 4 eBay, 0 Mercari. I went and started my car. I will put these downstairs in my shipping area in my office, and then when I come back, I will have to remember to remove the cross posts because I haven't done all of those yet, and then start working on some other aspects of the job. So, labels printed. Off I go. So I got my labels printed and taken downstairs to my shipping station, and then we put the dogs in the kennels, and I'm taking my oldest to school, and yes, I'm driving in my neighborhood. I have a lovely vlogging dash mount, so I'm able to safely drive while I vlog, and I absolutely love it. So that was a Christmas present from, no, not Christmas, what was that? Birthday? Yeah, that was a birthday present from my family. and my only complaint is that it like bounces when you drive, but it doesn't really carry over too terribly much to videos, unless it's like a super bumpy road. So every now and then when I'm vlogging, I have to completely trash what I used because it's really jiggly and you can actually hear this like noise in the background. So hopefully that doesn't happen this time. And fun facts, takes me about a half an hour to get my daughter to school and back or more. We try to, in order to save like gas and time and sanity, because we do live in Colorado and the traffic here is pretty brutal at times, even in our little area. So a lot of times we'll double up runs, like post office runs. We double that up with picking up the kids from school or taking them, you know, to an activity. We are pretty blessed to have like 3 post office within about 15 minutes of us, and then a lot of blue box drop-offs. And then in Fort Collins, in town, they've got one of those big things that you can use at the post office if you go after hours or you have a late drop-off. So we actually have a P.O. box at that location for deliveries and for safety reasons. So sometimes we'll correlate our entire run with either picking up or dropping off the kids. So here comes the shakiness of my vlog mount. So I will check back in with you guys after I get Kaylee to school. Hey guys, so I am back from taking Kaylee, my oldest, to school, and now I'm going to go ahead and line out the rest of my day as far as content, listings for reselling, and anything else I need to do. So let's take a peek at what that looks like and then get crack-a-lackin'. Okay, so I just wanted to show you guys what I have created here is my own planner of sorts. So I've got daily times over here as far as if there's like an appointment or something that needs to be accomplished, and then we try to do dinner planning. I do like a for tomorrow, and then Kaylee and Lauren have their own to-do list, which I think they've yet to actually utilize within this large one, but sometimes I'll write things that I want them to do down here. And then I have one column for like my personal to-dos, and then I have another column that has more of like what I try to do as far as a reseller. And then of course I have my hubby's to-do list as well. So these are the few things that he typically does after he gets off of his day job, moves on to evening activities so I can continue with my job. So what I will do is go through and start to fill out what I need to do for today. And this, obviously you guys can see, says Thursday. So I have today's, I just haven't really gotten too far. Usually I fill this out the night before, so that way I have a really good start to my day, but I kind of already knew how my day was going to be lined up today, so I didn't fill it out fully. So I created that personalized calendar on an Excel spreadsheet, and this was because I wanted to be able to incorporate my reseller duties, my mom duties, and my content planning duties all in one handy piece of paper. I also was growing incredibly tired of writing the same 10 to 15 things that we do daily on a list. So I populated this to help remedy some of that and prevent the repetition. So it's just an Excel spreadsheet that I created on my own based off of what I need, and then I can modify that based off of what platforms I'm using or how our life works. So it works really well, and I think I'm on year 2 of this, or 3. This has been the most beneficial for me as far as efficiency and productivity, so I'm really excited about it. I'm wondering why my eyebrow looks so weird. I'm not sure, y'all. Looks like it's like... So I'm going to finish my little to-do list and then take a peek at what my next task is going to be. Okay, so I have most of my day lined up as far as what I need to accomplish today. I just wanted to go over a few little things with you guys. So while looking at my to-do list, you'll notice that I have Instagram engagement on there several times. So what I try to do as a growing influencer in Instagram is engage at least 3 times a day in the community. So I go on in the mornings and reply to any comments or messages from the night before. And then I typically try to scroll my feed and interact with at least, you know, anywhere from 3 to 10 accounts, depending on my time constraints. And then I do try to reply to all of the comments that people have commented on in my threads, because that is the nice thing to do. And I get a little behind on replying to comments at times. Let's see. So then after I've done an initial Instagram engagement, which I typically try to do with my morning coffee, Then I'll have another midday one where I'll go in and engage with more people and add a few things to my personal Instagram story. And then in the evening, I will actually do kind of two brief engagement sessions on Instagram. I'll do one where I actually do a post, because I do post on Instagram nearly daily. And then I'll do a late night engagement just where I check in again and check my DMs and engage with people. Just being on the app, not constantly, but regularly, has helped, I think, me feel like I'm staying caught up on the Instagram social media piece, but I'm not living on Instagram. So that's been a really good balance for me, and it keeps me in check as far as, am I spending too much time of my day on Instagram? So once I've done my Instagram engagement and I have all of my sales kind of prepped down in my office, and I've removed my cross posts, then I typically start working on either Poshmark tasks or content tasks. So for today, I'm going to be creating a TikTok. I'm going to be uploading and editing this Follow Me video for YouTube that will likely be uploaded for viewing tomorrow, Thursday. I will also do all of my packages, and then I will try to list and cross post at least 3 items, but my goal every day is to list, relist, and cross post 5 items as a full-time reseller. Hey, bud. And this little guy just had another head seizure, so he gets these little head tremors that they can't figure out why. The best thing for him is distraction. So we use their little licky mats, and I put like a spoonful of peanut butter on there as he's starting to have one of those, and it distracts him until it's over. And they usually last about 2 minutes, and he gets a little scared during them. So one of the perks of being home is I can kind of keep an eye on him and make sure he's safe, huh? Mwah. He's such a sweet dog. I love him so much. What else do you think? Do I need to tell them anything else right now? What else do we do during the day? We do lots of sweepings. All right, so my next task is going to be, let's see, I'm trying to think of where I want to go, because really none of this is a time constraint. So I think I'll probably start with uploading what I've recorded so far to my Adobe, so I can get my YouTube video going. As we're recording, I'm going to go ahead and send over my little segments to my Mac and work on editing that, so it's a little bit more streamlined. And then I'll probably shift over to filming my TikTok, and then do some Instagram engagement, and then pop over to the actual reselling piece of this and start listing some new items that I have photographed already. So let's start with that and see where we get. I lost my remote to turn off the camera. Oh, here it is. I love this thing when it works. It's not stopping, buddy. So Rudy has decided that it's time for him to go underneath the covers, and he likes to sleep under my covers, but you see the looks he keeps giving me? He's like looking down and nudging him, then he looks at me. What? He wants me to lift up the covers and let him go underneath, and my other dog Sadie is currently on top of the covers where he would want to be. So he usually goes under my covers and then sits next to my knee, and he's frustrated because his sister's in his spot and his mom won't let him have his little nook. You frustrated? Here, let's share. You sit right here. So this little lump right here is usually Rudy. And Sadie's so sweet. She's like, I'll just sit wherever. It doesn't matter. He just has to have this little spot next to Mama. It's his favorite spot. And he sits there all day long. Loves his mom. We're not codependent at all. Okay, so I did a little bit of editing sitting down next to Rudy in bed, and then I shot a time lapse of one of the ways that I work from home. So I think it's really, really important to pay attention to your posture and how long you're sitting places. Whether you're working from home or in an office, repetition and poor posture can really start to take its toll on you, and I definitely am a person that feels that. So being that I have worked in a physical rehabilitation hospital, I was lucky enough to have access to a ton of wise, amazing educational, physical, occupational, and speech therapists. So if you hear me refer to PT, OT, speech, massage therapy, or anything like that, you'll hear that from me. I'm gonna actually just go ahead and tell you, you will hear that from me. I'm a huge advocate for those services, and I think that you can incorporate strategies that all of those disciplines have into your daily world, no matter who you are and no matter what your individual goals and struggles are with day-to-day life. For me, one thing I tend to do no matter what work environment I'm in is have poor posture. I love to work from my bed. I love to cuddle in the sunshine with my dogs. And you can see behind me that I have my photography wall. So I do spend a lot of time in here. However, I don't think the furniture is good for posturing. In addition to having a posture belt and doing a lot of myofascial release techniques and stretching, I also tend to stand with my bed table here and do a lot of standing while editing. So I apologize, it cut off my head. I didn't pay attention to that, but I shot a time lapse of my YouTube edits for this video so far. So next step for me is going to be jumping into a TikTok video to post that today. So TikTok content is a lot faster to put out, and it's a lot more frequently published than YouTube videos. So I try to publish several TikToks per week, and I publish one, max of 2 YouTubes per week. So today's TikTok topic is going to be my Amazon reseller essentials. So it's going to be kind of a short and sweet version of a prior video that you can find here on my channel already, and just going over some of the things that I have purchased as a reseller on Amazon that I think just really, really help my whole world out quite a bit. I will be filming that TikTok on my phone, so I don't know how I can incorporate. Maybe I will film the next segment on my actual good camera or my iPad, so that way you can see me utilizing my phone to make my TikTok. I think that's how I'm gonna do this, so stay tuned, guys. I'm still figuring this out. Another piece to add is all of these are in different orientations. All of the different types of content I use are in different orientations, different sizes. And so it took a lot of learning how to pay attention to, am I shooting in portrait or landscape? Am I going to be able to crop this so it fits onto both a YouTube video and potentially on a smaller TikTok video later down the line? So just really be mindful of that before you shoot. Like, what content am I using this for? Where am I going to be putting this ultimately? And is it in portrait or landscape orientation and pleasing to the eye? So here we go with TikTok, guys. And yes, I'm 39 years old and I freaking love TikTok. So please come join me if you're not already on there. And if you came to my YouTube from TikTok, welcome. I love TikTok and I'm so happy you're here. My top reseller essentials found on Amazon. Number 1, a dress form. Next, a sweater shaver and lint rollers. I have 2 tripods, one with a remote and one without. An Accutech digital scale for weighing your items for proper shipping amounts, particularly on eBay. A ring light because it makes photographs pop and makes the white wall even brighter. A few good clothing racks to hang your items for prep and steaming. A Rollo thermal printer and replacement thermal labels in the size 4x6. A variety pack of poly mailers that come in 4 different sizes for easy inventory and mailing. A steamer. I'm in the market for a new one, but this is my old Shark steamer. A good inventory system, including shelving, labels, and totes. Packing tape and poly mailers. check out my link above for more information. Thanks for watching. Hello. So it is early afternoon, I believe. Yeah, it's like 12:45 and I finished my TikTok. So I did a little time lapse of what that looks like. But I did a little bit more downstairs as well. So I only did the time lapse for upstairs, but you'll kind of get a sense for what that looks like in the time lapse. I think you can see how orchestrating a TikTok video kind of looks, I guess, from the outside looking in. So I've got that recorded and ready to upload to my TikTok. So then I went ahead and did engagement for TikTok while I was on there drafting that TikTok video. So I just need to post it, but I'm waiting for about another hour to post because of timing. It just takes off a little bit better if I post it between 2:30 my time and on. So I will wait to actually post that TikTok draft until a little bit later. And then I let my dogs out, had some lunch myself. And if you noticed before in my my planner that I had scheduled in yoga, which I either do yoga or stretching every single day. And even if it's only 5 or 10 minutes, I just try to practice that every single day. And then I also have things like shower, clean up, let the dogs out, eat. And that's because I will just keep working and not set my own boundaries. So that has been a way for me to check myself and make sure that I'm taking much needed breaks and eating and drinking throughout the day, stretching and whatnot. Next up is, let's see, I've got my TikTok done. I've been editing as I go with the YouTube. So next up I'll do Instagram engagement for midday, and then I will pack up my packages so they're ready to go when my husband gets home. So I think those will be the next two. Right now I'm kind of pausing because I can't remember what my Instagram post was for today. And typically, because I pre-plan my content, I already know what I'm doing. So I'm spacing that out. I need to figure out what my Instagram post is for today. Can't remember. So I'll look at my content calendar for my Instagram post. And then after I finish all of those tasks, then I'll jump over to my Instagram post. By that point, it should be after school time, and that's when my phone typically starts blowing up. It's a bit difficult for me to do content things because the girls are trying to make after school plans, see if they can get a ride sometimes and whatnot. And then I will do a chunk of evening work as well. So we'll see how the evening goes. I don't think we have any sports going on or after school plans that I'm aware of as of 12:30, but that can always change for me with 2 teen girls. And my oldest has dance later tonight. So I do know those 2 things will occur, but let's go ahead and work on getting my packages and my Instagram midday engagement done, and then take a peek at what we're doing for my Instagram post today. All right, so I went ahead and did a few add-ons to my own Instagram story and engaged with some other of my favorite community members in the Instagram community. And then I am going to grab my iPad and go downstairs to my inventory location and start gathering my inventory to pack up packages. And just like I predicted, I'm already starting to get text messages about rides and after school plans. So I'm going to start working on the packaging portion as my husband should be home within the next half an hour to 45 minutes. Then we'll move on to Instagram posting. Okay, so after I go to my garage where I have all my inventory stored and I gather all of my inventory, then I start to package everything up. So you can see that I try to line everything up. I've got everything lined up there. I've got my iPad so I can check my orders. And then you can see I've got some done already. So I will continue to pack up the 6 items that I've got. 6 items I've got until my husband gets home. But I can't find one of them, and I think it's something that he and I put somewhere because it's breakable. It's this like little replacement light bulb for a car, and I don't remember where we put it, so I'm hoping he can remember that because it's a really weird item. But aside from that, I found all my items, I retrieved them from the garage, and while I was doing that, I brought down inventory that's been listed, so that way I could go ahead and put that listed inventory in the correct bins. So I'm just going to finish up packaging a couple of items, and I'll do that on a time lapse so you guys can see what that looks like. And then my husband should be home for a quick run through, shower, dog walk, pick up packages, and go to the post office. So welcome to my crazy life. Oh, and if you're wondering, like, has she poshed yet? I have a virtual assistant, so that individual shares my closet for me throughout the day, but I do go in and do offers to likers, a modified 30-minute method of sorts, and then list 5 items. So I do spend time on Poshmark, and I know people are probably wondering like what that looks like, but when you go full-time and you cross-post, you start hiring out. And for my Posh sharing, I have hired out to an individual who shares my closet for me. So not a bot. Alright, so I've got 5 of my 6 sales from yesterday afternoon through this morning packed up and ready to go for my husband. He's running a little bit late and I've been using my phone, so I haven't checked my text to see what is going on there, but he has been working some overtime, so he could just be sticking around work for a little bit of OT. So you can see the packages there behind me. Let's see if I can do a cute perspective. So I have them ready to go. We'll see if we can track down the other one. If not, I'll just have to cancel that. So it'll just depend on if we can find it or not. And then I will be moving on to my Instagram post. All right, so I have finished just in the nick of time. My husband is running a bit late, but on his way home, he's going to grab the packages that I have packed up and then swing by and pick up one of my kiddos. So the afternoon hustle starts now, and I think I'm caught up on everything. I just went ahead and took a awesome Instagram post picture while I was finishing up some photography for this item here behind me. Trying to double up my efficiency as I'm listing this. I thought, well, I talked earlier about a behind the scenes video, or not video, photo for Instagram, and that's what I decided to do. So just in the nick of time as always, and a little bit out of breath, I'm done with everything for today aside from one other chunk of things that I will do here this evening, which includes listing, cross-posting, and a modified interactive 30-minute method type of thing that I do. And I think that might be, oh, offers to likers. I don't know if I mentioned that. Yeah, so here's how it's been so far. Okay, so we've entered the next phase of my afternoon. I'm not sure what my child's doing back there, but she is part of this phase of the afternoon. Also, I'm noticing, looks fuzzy. Hold on, guys. Maybe it's the brightness. Yeah. All right, peeps, we have entered the next portion of my day, which is husband is off getting my oldest child and dropping off packages, and I am checking personal emails, and Lauren is home doing her homework. And then after that, I will be listing my 5 things for the day on Poshmark and doing some interacting there. All right, everybody. So both of my kiddos are home. I've checked in with them as far as homework status and kind of what our plans are for the evening. And I'm going to wrap up my workday by listing 5 things on Poshmark and cross-posting those over to my other platforms that I use. So I hope that you guys have found this enjoyable, and I'll do a little time lapse of me here listing my 5 different things and then just wrap it up with a big thank you. And if you like what you see and would like to see more, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, as well as the notification bell if you would like to be notified of future videos. I'm really appreciative that you guys stuck around with me for the day to see what one of my many types of days look like as a full-time reseller who is also trying to do the whole influencer thing too. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.